So friends, we start with our next topic known as dependent source. We have already discussed about the independent source. We start with our next topic that is known as dependent source. Okay. So there are four different type of dependent source exist in networks. We will see one by one what are those four sources. Please concentrate here. First is known as VCVS. I have just written here as abbreviated form. I will explain you one by one how those abbreviated form can be converted. VCVS is known as voltage control voltage source. Voltage control voltage source. Okay. Next is your VCCS. VCC is your known as voltage control current source. Next is your CCCS, current control current source. And last one is your CCVS, that is current control voltage source. So these are the four different type of dependent source in the network. Dependent means the source which depend upon some another condition of current, either current or voltage. Okay, so it is represented by a diamond shape. This is a diamond shape type of structure, and whenever you find a kind of dependent source in a network, it is always represented in this form. Okay, so now how we analyze these four different type of sources through their this diamond type of network form. Okay, so that we will see. First we will talk about the VCVS, that is voltage control voltage source. So whenever VCVS is there, it means just keep in your mind these last term which is mentioned here, it always represent sources. It always represent sources. So it means this is your voltage source, this is your current source, again this is your current source, and this is your voltage source. Please keep in your mind. So when you talk about the voltage control voltage source, it means the source is voltage, but it is controlled by the certain voltage. Okay, so that's why I write here it as K1V. Similarly, when we talk about the voltage control current source, your source is what? It is a current source, but again it is controlled by some voltage. So I write here it as K2V. The next one is current control current source. It means your source is current. See, this is a current source, but it is controlled by what? Current. So here it is K3I. Similarly, when you are talking about the current control voltage source, it means your source is again voltage, but it is now controlled by the current. So I write here it as K4I. So just by repeating my video, you understand all the three type of sources. Now, what is K1, K2, K3 and K4? These are known as scaling factor. These are known as scaling factor. K1, K2, K3, K4 are known as scaling factor. So one can find the unit of K1. Yes. See, this K1V is equal to what? Some voltage source. This K1V is equal to what? Some voltage source. So you can say K1 is dimensionless. K1 is dimensionless. Okay. It means K1 has no unit. When you talk about K2, this is equal to what? This K2V is equal to what? Some current source. This K2V is equal to what? Some current source. So just see here, this K2V is some current source I. So the unit of K2 comes to be what? This is A by V, or you can call it as 1 by R, या इसको हम G भी बोल सकते हैं. Okay, so you can directly, I will directly write here K2 is equal to, here you see K2 is what? A by V. So this is, yes, its unit is what? Conductance. Okay, Mahu. You can write it as Mahu also, or you can say it as conductance. Okay. Okay. When you come to this one, that is, this is what, a current source. So K3 is what, K3 is your again dimensionless, K3 is what, your dimensionless quantity. Now when you come to K4, so again this K4i is equal to V. So K4 is equal to V by I, or you can say again it is a ohm, yeah, or you can write it as resistance. So these are the 4 units of K1, K2, K3 and K4 which are known as scaling factors. So K1 is dimensionless, K2 is Maho, basically conductance, K3 is what, again your dimensionless, and K4 is ohm, that is resistance. Okay, so this is all about the dependent source. We move on to the next topic. Next topic is our power and energy. As per our previous videos, our next topic is power and energy. So what is power? Power, you call it as rate of change of energy. Yes, this is a very simple formula. We will not go into the detailed theoretical description about power and energy. We are mainly interested in our formulas finding techniques. So I am directly writing here as power is what, is your rate of change of energy. Okay, this W is represent your energy, and when you find a rate of change of that energy is basically known as power, represented, that is its SI unit is what, watt, W. So I write this power P is also equal to dW upon dQ into dQ upon dt. Yes, can I write in this form? This dW upon dQ is basically known as voltage. Okay, this is basically known as voltage, and this dQ upon dt is known as current, and your power comes to be P is V dot I. P is V dot I. Here your dW upon dQ is your voltage and dQ upon dt is your current, and that comes to be P equal to VI. Now this is a very simple formula, but we have to see the application of power in networks. How the question comes in the form of finding out the nature of power in certain networks. So we have to see the application of power applicable in circuit theory, or you can say network analysis. So that we will see. Here I am considering two type of network elements. See, this is a some network elements and this is a some network element. See, the very important thing, network is consist of certain network elements, and that's why we call it as an entire network. So whenever somebody asks you about the definition of network, so network is basically consist of some elements. Elements may be your inductor, elements may be your capacitor, elements may be your resistor, elements may be your diode, transistor, FET. So when you combine these entire elements in some form with the help of some active source, some dependent source, then there is a formation of a network. But here now I am talking about some network element. See, say some network element is there, I'll call it as NE. Very important thing, I'll call it as NE network element. So here I am taking some direction. See, say this is plus minus, this current is going out, this current is coming in. So there are the two conditions we are considering. Say this is your condition 1, say this is your condition 2. So in condition 1, we see that this is the positive and negative terminal and the current is coming out from this network element. Similarly, in this condition, the current is coming towards the network element. So what happened in GATE or in other PSU's examination, you will find a question used to come and you have to find the nature of the power. What type of power is element doing? I mean, element is either absorbing the power or element is either delivering the power. So there are two important things which you have to understand. Elements are either absorbing the power or elements either supplying the power. Definitely either element absorb the power or will supply the power. So definitely there is a passive elements will going to absorb the power and there is some active element or either they are in the form of active, so that they are going to supply the power. So in these two conditions you have to identify the nature of the power, what type of power it is, whether it is a positive power or whether it is a negative power. So keep in mind, whenever the network element supply the power, supplying means you have to only consider this positive terminal and you have to analyze the direction of the current. If the direction of the current is leaving this positive terminal, very important thing, once again I am repeating, when the direction of the current leaving the positive terminal, it means the current is going out from this network elements, and that we will consider that this network is supplying some of the power to the other network element or a network. So whenever it is supplying, the nature of power is always negative. Very important thing, P is negative. Just keep in your mind, the nature of the power is what? Negative. Why? Because just for understanding purpose, something is going out from this entire network element, this entire network, something is going out. So you can say, just for understanding and just for remembrance purpose, the value of this network is decreasing. It means something is going out, it means there is a fall in the network, so we call it as negative, but if something is coming, it means there is a addition. Here it is a subtraction, here is some addition, so we will call that the power is getting summed or power is getting absorbed. So here the nature of the power is positive, so that comes to be P positive. Okay, so always keep in mind, this is known as absorbing power, no, not absorbing, this is known as supplying power. This is a condition of supplying, when network element is supplying, and this condition is known as absorbing, when network is absorbing. So when it is absorbing, it is positive, when it is supplying, it is negative. Okay, so this is all about the sign convention of power. During our problem solving session, we will analyze such type of network and we will find the nature of the problem, and we will also see what type of problem used to come in your competitive examinations. Okay, so with this topic is finished. We'll move on with the next topic. So this is our next topic, series oblique parallel connection of RLC, resistor, inductor and capacitor. There are three type of element RLC. In our later course of video, we will mainly discuss about L and C, and I will explain you the very basic concepts of inductor and capacitor, that we will see in our later videos. But for the time being, we will analyze what are the series and parallel connections of RLC and what do you understand by series and parallel connection. Okay, so let me first explain you about the series and then we will talk about the parallel. So when we come to series, see, very important thing, if certain elements, say these are some network element, okay, just for your understanding purposes, this is a network, This is your condition 1, this is your condition 2. On the basis of this picture representation, I am explaining you what is series and what is parallel combination and what is the difference in series and parallel combination. So this is entirely a network, this is entirely a network, and there are some network element. I will call it as NE1, NE2, NE3, again NE1, NE2 and NE3. Yes, these are the network elements. So a series combination is one where the current flowing is common for all the network elements connected. So if you see, this current will go from here, from here, from here. So it means a common current will flow from this network element. However, the voltage drop across these elements may be different depending upon the value of these network elements. Okay, so just keep in your mind regarding a series connection. In series connection, very important thing, current is same but voltage is different across elements. Again, that is depending upon their values. These two important concepts people find confusion. So very simple, when current is same and voltage forms different, it's a kind of series combination, and the value of voltages dropped across the elements is basically depend upon their value. This is your first case. Now come to your next case. When we are talking about the parallel combination, so in parallel combination, just keep in your mind, in parallel combination, whatever the current I is here it may be I1, I2, I3, again depending upon the value of network element connected. But if you see the voltage V, it is commonly applicable. It is commonly applicable on all the network elements present in parallel. Okay, so one can say in parallel type of condition, when you are talking about this parallel type of condition, the current, again I can write here is current is different. Okay, one condition, and voltage is same. So very important thing, once again I am explaining here, in series combination current is same, a very strict condition, but voltage is different. Again it is dependent upon the value of the elements present. In parallel combination, current is different. Again those current which is different is again depending upon the value of the network element, but the very stringent condition is voltage is same. Yes, whenever you find a voltage across the parallel branch, it is same. So this is a very basic condition of series combination, and this is a very basic condition of parallel combination. While solving the problem, we will see how we solve the parallel combination, how we solve the series combination. Okay, so by first of all we will see about the resistance, then we will see about the inductor, and then we will see about the capacitor. Okay, so first we will see about the series. So you will see R1, R2, R3 and Rn all are connected in a series form. If I say let some current I is flowing, if I say some current I is flowing, and here if I look, the equivalent resistance here is R equivalent. So one can find the value of R equivalent with the help of these resistance. So I am just explaining for this series combination in case of resistor, similarly parallel combination in case of resistor, but While we are going for inductor and capacitor, we will directly write the formulas. Okay, that we will see in our later videos. So if say here is some voltage, say here is some voltage V, this is capital V. So as I said, depending upon the value of R1, R2, R3, there is a voltage drop, say V1, there is a voltage drop, say V2, there is a voltage drop, say V3, and there is a voltage drop, say Vn. So you can say by KVL, that we will see later, this capital V is equal to V1 plus V2 plus V3 up to dash 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 Vn. Okay. So this capital V is equal to what? That is I into R of equivalent. This I into the resistance which we want to find, that is the equivalent across these two terminal A, B. So I can write it as I of R equivalent is equal to, since the same current is flowing, I take common I and I will directly write here as R1 plus R2 plus R3 up to dash 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 Rn. Yes, can I write the equation in this form? Because the voltage V1 across V1, which is drop across resistance R1, is what? That is I into R1. Similarly, it is I into R2. So like that, I have find the value of other voltages. So one can take I as common. So you can directly write here as R equivalent is what? That is R1 plus R2 plus R3 plus up to dash 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 Rn. So this is your R equivalent when number of resistance and number of resistance connected in series. A very simple formula for finding out the series combination. This is for resistor. Now we come to next, that is our parallel combination of resistor. When we talk about the parallel combination, again say here is R equivalent. So as I said, if some voltage V is there, so definitely this V is commonly applicable on all the nodes. If I say let some current I1 is here, some current I2 is here, some current I3 is here, and some current IN is here. So as per, this is your main current I. So as per KCL that we will see in KCL and KVL analysis, this I is basically equal to I1 plus I2 plus I3 plus up to dash 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 IN. Okay. So what is your I? Since V is Ri, so this I is what? That is V by R of equivalent, which we have to find across this terminal. Similarly, when we are talking about I1, since the voltage is common, you can directly write it as V upon R1, then you write it as V upon R2, then you write it as V upon R3 up to dash dash V upon Rn. So one can find the equivalent resistance 1 upon R equivalent is equal to 1 upon R1 plus 1 upon R2 plus 1 upon R3 plus up to dash 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 1 upon Rn. So this is all about the equivalent resistance when we are finding for parallel combination of resistor B. Okay. So this is about series and parallel combination of resistor. Then we'll directly come to inductor. Okay. So L, which is connected in series form. So in this case, L equivalent is given. I am directly writing the formula for L equivalent, that comes to be L1 plus L2 plus L3 up to dash dash Ln. So this is for finding out the equivalent inductor when connected in series. Okay. So it is similar like a resistor value, that is simply you have to add the different value of inductor and find the sum. So that comes to be around L equivalent. Okay. Now we'll talk about parallel. Now here we have to find the L equivalent in case of parallel combination. So just keep in mind, just like a resistor, it is 1 upon L equivalent is equal to 1 upon L1 plus 1 upon L2 plus 1 upon L3 plus 1 upon Ln. So this is the formula for finding out the equivalent inductor. This is about inductor. So when we are finding out the equivalent of inductor in a parallel combination, so this is the formula. Okay, now we directly come to next, that is capacitor. So again, when capacitors are connected in series, this is a series combination, and here C1, C2, C3 up to Cn capacitors are connected in series, and you have to find the C equivalent. So just keep in mind the type of combination for resistor and inductor is same, but when you talk about the capacitor, it is entirely different. So whatever the value we will find in case of parallel, in case of resistor and inductor, that is similarly applicable in case of capacitor when we are finding the equivalent combination in case of series. Okay, so I can directly write here the formula for finding out the C equivalent, that is 1 by C is equivalent is equal to 1 by C1 plus 1 by C2 plus 1 by C3 plus up to 1 by Cn. So this is the formula for finding out the series combination of a number of capacitors when connected in a series form. Okay, so this is about the series combination. Come to the parallel combination. So when capacitors are connected in parallel combination, this is the parallel combination. So under this circumstances, the value of C equivalent, that comes to be what? That is C1 plus C2 plus C3 to dash dash Cn. Very important formula for finding out the value of C equivalent when capacitors are connected in parallel form. Okay, so this you just keep in your mind. These are the various form of finding out RLC elements. Okay, it means the combination in series as well as in parallel. One can able to find the equivalent of R, equivalent of L, and equivalent of C. By repeating my video, one can easily able to understand all these three type of combination. So we finally move on with the next topic. Okay, our next topic is star to delta transformation. As my previous video, we have discussed that our the topic which is now coming is star to delta transformation. Okay, one is star to delta transformation, another one is delta to star transformation. See, these are the two topic you have find sometimes there is an application of these techniques while solving the networks. Okay, there are certain networks in which you are not able to directly find the solution until unless you apply these two techniques. Okay, so these two techniques are basically to solve the network, to solve the different type of resistor and inductor or capacitor base, and one can easily find either current, either voltage, either energy, either power, whatever it is. Okay, so we'll see how star to delta and delta to star transformation will be done. So we will directly talk about the formulas here. So yes, just like series parallel combination, we will see star to delta for all three elements, that is RLC. All three elements RLC. So one by one we will see. First of all, we will talk about R. First of all, we will talk about R, that is resistance. When resistance are connected in star form, and you have to convert into delta form. So first of all, what is star and what is delta? So please see, this type of structure is known as star, and this type of structure is known as delta. Just keep in your mind, very important. This type of structure is known as star and this type of structure is known as delta. So our first problem is to convert this star network into a delta network. This is our delta network and this is our star network. So if I write here, say this is resistance R1, this is resistance R2, and this is resistance R3. So this is a star network. You have to convert into a delta network. In each case, I am taking this as 1 2 3 as a subscript, and here I will take it as ABC. So I call it as RB, RA, RB and RC. So now your question is how we find the value of RA, RB and RC. So here you just see this resistance is basically your RA, this resistance and this resistance. So this resistance is basically your RC and this resistance is basically your RB. Okay, just by stretching this figure you will find this is our basic figure. So now you have to find the value of RA, RB, RC. Now how one can find the value of RA, RB and RC? So I am directly writing the formula. You must have to remember, whenever you have to find RA in star to delta conversion, this is star to delta. I have mentioned here, just keep in mind it is star to delta. So the value of RA comes to be R1 plus R2 plus of R1 R2 divided by R3. Okay, I will write it as this value R3 is not divided by the entire, it is only divided by this. Just keep in mind, sometimes students finds confusion. Okay, so you just remember R1 plus R2 plus R1 R2 upon R3. Similarly the value of RB, similarly the value of RC. So the value of RB is what? That is R1 plus R3 plus R1 R3 upon R2. Similarly the value of RC comes to be R1 RC, that is R2 plus R3 plus R2 R3 divided by R1. So like that one can find the value in case of star to delta transformation. Okay, so this is all about the resistance. This is all about the resistance. We'll talk with the inductance. See whenever we say R stands for resistor and its characteristic or its property is known as resistance. Okay, so if I say sometimes resistance or resistor, so don't confuse with that. Similarly in case of L also, L is known as inductor and its property known as inductance. Similarly C, that is capacitor, property known as capacitance. Okay. Now we talk about L. Again your star network and this is your delta network. So again this is L1, L2, L3, this is LA, LB, LC. So this is your inductor. When we will find the value of LA, अरे यार थोड़ा धीरे बात करो. Okay, so we find the value of LA, LB and LC. Again this is your star network and we are converting into delta. So now as I already redraw that network in case of resistance will draw here also in case of inductor. So basically this is your inductor LC, this is your inductor LA, this is your inductor LB. So the value of LA, LB, LC, it is similarly like in the value of resistance. So LA comes to be what? That is L1, L2, L1, L2 divided by L3. Similarly, the value of, this is the value of LA. When we talk about the value of LB, that comes to be L1, L3 plus L1, L3 upon L2. When we talk about LC, it is L2 plus L3 plus L2, L3 upon L1. So this is all about the value of LA, LB, LC in case when we are talking about star to delta transformation. Okay, now we come directly to capacitor. Okay, now we'll talk about the capacitor again. This is your star network and this is your delta network. This is your capacitor. If this is C1, C2, C3, this is CA, CB, CC. Okay, so as I said earlier, in case of R and L, similarly we are finding out this. Okay, this. So this is your CA, CC, CB. Okay, so I think you understand. CA, CB and CC. So we will find the value of CA, CB and CC. So just keep in your mind CA, CB, CC. As we have seen in case of finding out the equivalent resistance, inductance and capacitance, we have seen that while we are finding out the equivalent for capacitor in case series and in case parallel is there, so it is interchangeably with the condition applicable in resistor as well as in inductor. So the same thing is applicable here also. So while we are finding out the equivalent of CA, CB, CC in case of star to delta transformation, this is your star network, this is your delta network. So the value of CA comes to be, that is C1, C2 upon C1 plus C2 plus C3. Just keep in your mind, this is the value of CA. Similarly, when you come to the value of CB, that comes to be C1, C3 upon C1 plus C2 plus C3. And when you find the value of CC, that comes to be C2, C3 upon C1 plus C2 plus C3. Okay, so these are the value of capacitor CA, CB, CC when we are talking about star to delta transformation. Star network is converted into delta network with these as the value of capacitor you have to find while solving the network. So this is all about the star to delta for RLC. Now we will come to delta to star transformation again for RLC. Okay, so we start with delta to star transformation techniques. First we will see for this resistance R. So this is your delta network, as I said earlier. This is your delta network in which R1, R2, R3 is connected, and now again you have to convert this delta into a star network. So the equivalent here is what? That is RA, RB and RC. Okay, so basically I can say you have to find these values. If I redraw this network, so here I can redraw this network as in this manner. So this value is your RA, this value is your RB, and this value is your what? RC. Yes. So the value of RA, RB, RC in this case I am directly writing here as RA, RB, RC. The value of RA comes to be what? That is, as I earlier said, R1 R2 upon R1 plus R2 plus R3. The value of RB is what? That is R1 R3 upon R1 plus R2 plus R3. The value of RC comes to be what? That is R2 R3 upon R1 plus R2 plus R3. This is all about the value of RA, RB, RC when you are finding delta to star transformation in case of resistor. Okay, we come to the next, that is inductor. Yes, now our next is inductor. Again, this is your delta network and this is your star network. You have to find a delta to star transformation in case of inductor. So I can write directly here the value of LA, LB and LC. So what is LA? LA is L1 L2 upon L1 plus L2 plus L3. What is LB? It is L1 L3 upon L1 plus L2 plus L3. And what is LC? It is L2 L3 upon L1 plus L2 plus L3. So this is an important formula for finding out the value of inductor when we are converting a delta network into a star network. This is all about the inductor. As I said, and I have redraw that network, will draw here also. This is your basically inductors. This is your inductors. Okay. So I am talking about these inductors which we have find here. Yes. So next is our capacitor, in which we have to find the delta to star transformation of capacitor once connected in delta, how we convert it into star. So this is your diagram. Okay, so basically we are finding these capacitors. So as I said earlier, it is just reverse in case of resistor and inductor. So here the value of C comes to be what? Here the value of CA comes to be, that is C1 plus C2 plus C1 C2 upon C3. The value of CB comes to be what? C1 plus C3 plus C1 C3 upon C2, and the value of CC comes to be what? That is C2 plus C3 plus C2 C3 upon C1. So this is all about the capacitor one can find for delta to star transformation. Okay, so you just remember these formulas, because while solving the problems in your competitive examination, such type of technique is required to solve the networks. Otherwise one cannot able to solve the networks and there is a lot of confusion. And if you remember these techniques, yes, it is possible to resolve the network in a very easiest manner. Okay.